Welcome back to my book channel. My name is Lainey Lauren Explorer, and today oh, I have not a romance, not a contemporary romance, nothing romantic about this book, but it was great. I heard about this book in a book haul that Books and Lala was going to do, and then it got me with A Teacher Out for Revenge, and it's Confessions by Kanomi Minoto. So this is a translated work, so this is going to my translated works. This is crazy. Like, this is super crazy. But let's do some housekeeping before we get into this book. Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing great. I am doing okay. Yesterday was a very hard day for me because I had a migraine and I was supposed to hang out with my cousin and it was just not good. It was not good. So today is a brand new day and I'm feeling so much better. So much better. I hope you guys have a wonderful day whenever you're seeing this. Please like and subscribe to see more from me. I usually do romances, but like sometimes there are books that I'm just like, you know what? I just want to read and I want to talk about them. And Confessions is this one. But again, like and subscribe. Okay, so let's get into this. This is very short. I knew that I was going to read it in one day, which I did. And then once I read it, I went to Books and Lala's discussion on it. And I was like, okay, so like what I was feeling, some of them were feeling the same thing. And other times I was like, oh, okay, well, I got that perspective. I didn't think about this. But basically, this is about a teacher who is a single parent, but she is married. But because of the stigma around a certain disease, sexually transmitted disease, she has decided to separate from her husband. But they are still married. So she has a 4-year-old daughter who she takes to school with her because she works at the school. And one day they find her daughter floating in a pool and it's ruled as an accident. But as we go on, we find out that like students of hers killed her daughter. So this is her revenge for this act of killing her daughter. It's a revenge plot. And it's like each chapter was like a huge bomb. Wow. But I need to like a reveal. Because wow. And it's crazy. So if that's what you want, like that's actually what I can give you without giving spoilers away. And I'm giving it a 4.5. Yeah. Crazy. The reveals were crazy. And if you like a psychological thriller, then you're gonna like this because this is crazy. There was so much and so little time to process like the things that happen in each chapter. I was just wowed by how much information I was getting, and then I couldn't process it because I'm going to a next chapter, and then that gives me the different reveal. So if you are going to read this, which I highly suggest you read because it's short, it's like 200 and something pages, 234, 234 pages. A quick one-day read. Not even like one day. You can probably read this in like an hour or two, which that's what I did, and call it a day. And this is amazing. So if that's it, like, I'm about to get into the spoiler part. So, you might want to just like leave out and then go ahead and read this book. But spoilers. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry about my hair. I'm just going through things. But spoiler parts. So each chapter is told in the point of view of someone connected to this murder. So the first chapter is Yoko. Yeah, Yoko. And she tells you like the whole entire murder, and then she drops a bomb, which is giving the boys HIV. So she doesn't kill them. She has known that they have murdered her child for months, and then her act of revenge is giving them a deadly disease that will kill them in the long term. But then we find out later on that she didn't actually do it. She just made them think that she did. And she told the whole entire class that they are the killers. And so, like, the boys get bullied. One boy doesn't even come back to school, which is Naoko. I'm saying it's N. And Shuya is the one who does. So we find out, like, she doesn't say who the boys are. She never says it. It's the actions of the boys the following year that then the whole class knows who they are. But the boys know who they are. So in the next chapter 2, we get the class president's perspective, which she was actually friends with both boys during this time. And so this is like the next year, and the teacher's gone. So then we find out that like the students started to realize who the boys are, because one boy, which is N, he doesn't come back to school. So he incriminated himself, so they all know it's him. Then the other boy is just become like, is very deviant, and they assume it's him, which it was, and his name is Shia. So in her chapter, it's just like her emotions of like finding out and what's going on and the bullying that's happening to Shuya and her because of stuff that she does when she speaks up for Shuya. And then she gets bullied, and then she does something later on that, because of peer pressure of wanting to fit in with other classmates and not get bullied by them as well, she ends up dying. It's super crazy. Like, really crazy. So every chapter has like a consequence or a very big bomb that is dropped because of actions of characters and the sequence of things. When I tell you, I didn't understand why when I was reading her chapter, and then like that bomb got dropped, and then in chapter 5, the other why she's insignificant became more important, which is crazy. But a lot of things happen in each chapter. You get her, the president's, which I think her name is like, I forgot her name, Mizuko, whatever. Sorry if I butchered that. And then you get student B, which is in his chapter of, no. You get his sisters. Yeah, chapter 3 is his sister's point of view, because then you find out that like in chapter 2, he kills his mother. That's the big bomb. He killed his mother. And in chapter 3, you find out that like it's from his sister's point of view, and his sisters found a diary that his mom had written, and it's his mom knew that he killed this girl. Like she knew he killed a 4-year-old girl, and because she had a problem with a single teacher, a single mother teaching impressionable adolescents, she didn't really care for Yoko. And I was just like, okay, wow. But she was like one of those like helicopter moms. And this was her diary was crazy. It was crazy. Long story short is that she was going to kill In, but In killed her. It was crazy. Like I was just like, at the end of the chapter, you just find out that his mother was going to kill him. And then it's in chapter 4. And then you find out that like she was about to kill him and then he killed her. I don't understand. Because I like, if you read my Goodreads, I was really trying to figure out why he killed his mother. Like that was like my main point when like we find out in chapter 2 that he did it. And I was just like, but why? Like that's crazy. Like you would kill your mother and then you realize in chapter 3 that she's like a helicopter mom and she was just doing all these other things. And because he didn't really tell her what happened and what he was going through mentally until like the very end, she was like spiraling with him. And I think it's like one of those, I forgot the name of it, but basically it's when you have 2 people stuck in this spiraling madness and they end up hurting either each other or other people. And I think that's what they went through because they were living together. And she fed off him and he was just like getting the residual of her. Her actions made him think other things. Like he became like super OCD because he thought that he had HIV. And he started doing things to make it seem like he wanted to like, okay, so some of the things that he wanted to do was like, he didn't want to eat from the same plates, same dishes as the other family, his mom and his father. Because he didn't want them to catch HIV. And that's another thing about this. This was really weird about this, that this very misconstrued nature of HIV and how kids think HIV is very contagious. So he wanted to eat his food on separate plates. And then he started getting into like cleaning his room. And then he started getting into wanting to have disposable plates and chopsticks and paper cups so he wouldn't pass on HIV to his parents. And I was just like, wow, okay. But she thought there was something mentally going on with him because like of him doing this and psychologically and all that kind of stuff. So this was crazy. And then you get into, that was chapter 4 is his point of view. Chapter 5 is Shuya's point of view. And she is the person who was like the mastermind behind killing or trying to kill Yoko's daughter. He has been making this like execution device, and he decided that he wanted to bring in and they would commit this act together because he wanted to be known and wants attention from his mother, who hasn't been giving him attention because she's been abusive and all that kind of stuff. And all he wants is a mother's love. Oh my gosh. But so he lures Yoko's daughter, and they with a pouch from a snuggly bunny that she really wanted, and he basically like tases her, and he wanted her to die. But then like we found out that she didn't die, and he knew she didn't die, but Anne, who it didn't want her to die, actually wanted her to die. It was so many twists and turns. But in his chapter, we get like the aftermath of like, well, before we get his like how he became who he is, which is very deviant, and his abuse from his mother, and him wanting a mother's love, and then the actions that led up to and the death of Yoko's daughter, which crazy. Then you get the aftermath of it, where like his crush, who also had a crush on him, who is the girl in the second chapter, laughs at him because of peer pressure, and he kills her. Crazy. Then he wants to put a bomb in the school and tries to blow the school up, but realizes someone moved the bomb and it didn't detonate. But he confesses the whole entire thing, that like what he did and what in and him did to this little girl. He confesses it into the whole entire school, so everyone knows, and he's about to go to jail for murder, because again he did this, and then he also killed his crush, so he's going to jail. Then he detonates the bomb, but then realizes someone moves the bomb or like undid the bomb, and he gets a call. Then we find out in chapter 6, which is like basically a conclusion of what's about to happen, and it's Shuya's mom. Someone, Yoko, finds out that he's about to detonate this bomb. She then moves the bomb to his mother, Shuya's mother's place of work, and when he pressed the button, he detonated the bomb and killed his own mother, and he's about to find it out. But we find out that like some things. So in this chapter, besides like finding out that like he killed his mother on accident, he didn't mean to, he was trying to kill him and like the other people at school, we find out that Yoko's husband, who the one who has HIV, has found out that she's taken some blood from him, and basically he knows the story of how his daughter died, and he follows her, and he's the one who basically tells her not to put his blood in their milk, where all the class has been drinking, and she was going to put HIV in both in Shuya's milk. He tells her not to, and he basically, so everything was so psychological because she didn't do it. So, but she made it seem like she did, and they both thought that they had HIV. But oh my gosh, yeah. So this was crazy. I'm glad I read this. Again, I read it in one day, and I am happy that I did. Great. Great. I can't. There's nothing else I can say but how you get sucked into it, and then you just like start realizing things are just like adding up, and like why, and they get told to you why. Great. But yes, so definitely read, because this was amazing. Super amazing. But yeah, so that is it. I hope you all enjoyed this. I will see you all in my next video. My name is Lady Lauren Explorer, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.